Hello everyone, I am the Mad God and welcome to Starbound, aka Terraria in space. I'm just kidding. I mean, that's a good way to describe what the game basically is, but you will soon see that there are many differences. So, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the character creation here. We've got currently 6 races to choose from. A 7th is supposed to be released on, when the game, is fully released. This is in Steam Early Access. Or, I guess, just beta if you're gonna buy it from their website. But I have it on Steam. Now, just give you a quick overview by randomizing some of the features. You can see what your character can look like. There's different personalities, which may affect the voice slightly, but mostly it's just how your character, stands around, walks, and I would say talks, but I don't know if your character will actually say anything or not. Probably not. I haven't heard him say anything anyway. Maybe in the future. So you got your 6 races: the human, the avian, the apex, the florin, the hylottals, and the glitch. Your humans are, well, humans. Show off the male and female for each one. You got avians. Apex. Florins. Hylottals. Like the appearance options, and same for the glitch mostly. So, yeah, humans are humans, avians are bird people, apex are monkey people, florins are plant people, hylottals are fish people, and the glitch are robots. Now, other than their appearances and clothing, each race has specific styles of armor and weapons. Human is just your typical modern stuff. Probably sci-fi-ish elements in there. The avian are tribal, so they've got, spears and stuff. Armors with lots of feathers and all that kind of stuff. The apex are apparently based on, British, English. I mix things up a lot, so forgive me if I say it so wrong, it's insulting. But yeah, that general military style, so I would imagine I'm not really familiar with that kind of weaponry, I'm sorry. Florins are kind of, if I remember right, they're more like Native American. Hylottals are very obviously Eastern Asian types, which they're my personal favorite. And the glitch, believe it or not, are actually medieval style. Probably my second favorite, to be honest. Now, I'm not going to create a character, rather, not multiplayer, single player, I'm going to continue on my, my hylottl. As you can see, I made a glitch, an apex, and a hylottl, but the hylottl is the only one I've really made any progress with, so that's what I'll be, choosing, rather than starting from the very beginning, because it's very slow in the beginning. If you understand what this is a reference to, points to you. It's actually not exactly subtle, but still. Okay, anyway, Starkeeper. And here's the ship. This is where you start out. Move around with your WASD, typical stuff. Well, not really W, but A, S, and D, S, crouch. Space to jump. Yeah, so this is your ship locker. You're going to press E to interact with all your stuff, and this is where your starting equipment will be. You should get your starting weapon. For me, it was the Broken Rune Wrath Sword, which is a two-handed weapon. I believe some people start with one-handed weapons. I'm not sure if it's random or dependent on race. I have no idea. And you'll get a flashlight, which is up here, and you'll get some seeds and a matter manipulator. And I'll show you what all that does later. This is not important right now because I don't know what it does yet. Particularly a 3D printer. I don't know what this does. This is your fuel. You put fuel in like coal and yeah. So if I were to put this in, that'll show you how much it would give you, and then you can click fuel, but that's going to be all my coal, so I'm not going to do that. And you're a captain's chair, and this is how you fly to other planets. You can find random planets. It's pretty interesting. You can also set a planet as your home. I'm going to set this planet as my home, actually. And then I guess if you're very far away, you can just tell it to go home. Pretty interesting stuff. I haven't actually traveled to other planets because when you start out, your ship is actually out of fuel. But funnily enough, if you choose to go to this planet, even though you're already over it, you can still choose to fly to it, and your ship does actually fly, I guess, around the universe, back to it. It's very silly. But it's something you can do. Anyway, so we need to beam down to the planet now to get to the actual core part of the game. The planets are, of course, procedurally generated. And there are two ways to do it. You don't have to be standing on it, but you can just get close enough for it to be highlighted and press E. Or you can click this button over here. And when you're on the planet, it'll also transport you back up to your ship. Which is very useful, because every time, since I spawned right here, say I was hours and hours away, if I beamed up to my ship, I could beam back down and be there. So that's very useful. And it's a reason why your house should always be next to your spawn. Not on your spawn, though, because if you make an incredibly tall house with no roof access, you're not going to be able to get down alive. Now, like Terraria or Minecraft, you're going to have to start out with trees. But you're not going to start out with tools. Your matter manipulator is for that. If you hold left click, it'll destroy things in the foreground, like that. And if you're next to those blocks, it'll pick them up. If you hold right click, it will destroy things in the background. Walls and such. Only walls, because I believe those are the only things in the background. But yes, walls. Very useful. Indeed. That also works with pickaxes. Pickaxes can also destroy walls. Axes cannot. But you're not going to have a pickaxe just yet. You'll chop down trees, and it's a very slow process. I've had to record this many times. So, I kind of chopped down a lot of trees before. But it's very slow at first. But you get some wood, you get some stone. I believe there may be some trees to the right of my house. Maybe. I don't know. And I don't think you have to close your doors all the time, but I do, because I'm OCD like that. You mine stone, again, with your matter manipulator. And it's slow. Not quite as slow as chopping down a tree with it, I don't think. And my weapon may seem very powerful, and I guess it is for these low-level monsters. But if I were to equip my starting sword, you can see that this still does a considerable amount of damage. Mind you, this is a two-handed sword. So of course it's going to do a lot of damage. But it isn't like a high-tier weapon or anything. This is the first, like, kind of weapon you can get your hands on. It's just a basic iron weapon. Nothing special. Some monsters are, of course, hostile by nature, some aren't. Now, I'm not gonna chop this tree all the way down, but if I were to do this, you can see the tree starts to sway more and more. And eventually, it will fall down. I'll go ahead and show that. I will go ahead and show that. I am not an experienced commentator, if that was obvious. Wasn't obvious. Anyway, so yeah, that took a while. But with an axe, and no, the size of the tree does not matter. With an axe, you can see significantly faster. But, personally, I always prefer to make the pickaxe first, because there are no wooden tools. You go straight to stone. So you need lots of stone to make your tools. And you mine stone faster with a pickaxe. That's personal preference. If you want to get your axe first because you need a lot of wood, go ahead. Me personally, I always get my pickaxe first. Now, I suppose I should actually head back home. I don't know why I'm just going out randomly. Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't destroy crops when I crash down, but it doesn't. Oh, listen to this music. So good. I'm gonna talk a little quieter now, just to keep the music, or make the music easier to hear. That may be too quiet, but anyway. So you get your wood and stone, you make a crafting table. How do you make a crafting table? Press C. You make wooden planks out of your unrefined wood that you got for chopping trees down. You need 35 wooden planks. You make 3 at a time per unrefined wood, by the way. You need wooden planks, you make a crafting table. You place it down, you press... Yeah, that was actually battle music, but they flew away. Anyway, press E on your crafting table and you've got so many more things to build. Now to make a campfire, you need unrefined wood and torches. You start with torches. I couldn't remember everything that you started with earlier, but yes, you start with torches as well. And, yeah, you make a campfire. You need unrefined wood and coal to make torches. Yeah, you get a campfire, and this is how you cook your meat. How do you get meat? Well, first you need a bow. How do you get a bow? Well, if I research bow, hunting bow. Plant fibers, which you can get from harvesting crops. That's one way to get them. You also get them from hanging vines, such as these right here. And they can be chopped down faster with an axe. So you get your plant fibers and boom, hunting bow, unrefined wood, and 1 plant fiber. Then you get a hunting bow. Monsters will only drop meat and leather with a bow, or if you kill them with a bow. Excuse me. Now the interesting thing about bows, a bit like Minecraft's bows, if you click, it just kind of goes. If you hold it down for a second, it'll go further. You can hold it down for a while, and it'll do a lot of damage and such. But you'll notice it glows for a specific part of the animation. If you launch it while it's glowing, you shoot a much stronger version of the arrow. The timing can be a bit difficult to get used to. I still haven't gotten used to it yet. They have, I believe, increased knockback, but they definitely do more damage. So let's say, bonk. That did 20 damage. That did 21 damage. It may not be significant with the regular hunting bow, but you see there, he dropped leather. I'll be honest, I don't exactly know what leather is used for yet, because I haven't seen anything that uses it. But I'm sure it's important. Maybe. Anyway. So yeah, that's how you're going to survive for a while. At least until you make a stone hoe. With a stone hoe, you just click the ground, and it tills it, makes it ready for farming. And if you accidentally farm a place you don't want to be, like, look like that, just hit it. Not with the matter not necessarily with the matter manipulator, just hit it, and it'll go back. And that's nice. Now, to harvest, because you can't just destroy them, if you just destroy them, it goes back to the seeds. See? To harvest, you press E, and it'll give you plant fibers, and the actual wheat, and then, of course, more seeds. Hold left click, and this works for building as well as planting. You hold left click, and anytime it registers to be planted, it will be planted. Mind you, that was very poorly done, because I did it too fast and it was all spread out. Oh, nope. Still not right. Going too fast. Destroying all the groups. There we go. Naturally, you will be extending your farm. Look at the line go, But yeah, naturally, you'll be extending your farm as you go through. Mine started, I believe, about here, and then I expanded it all the way out here just after a few harvests. Harvests? Thanks. Harvests. But it does take a while for the wheat to grow, and your character will very likely die of hunger before you're, done. Before you can make bread. Especially because you need a cooking table to make bread. And how do you make a cooking table? Well, you just go into your crafting table here, go to cooking, and as you can see, you need 4 copper bars and 15 wooden planks. Well, how do you get copper bars? Well, obviously you're gonna mine copper like that right there. And with some, go back up to the crafting table. Not oven. Thanks, brain. I completely forget what it's called. Furnace. Stone furnace. The campfire that you made earlier. You take one of those. You take your campfire and some cobblestone that you mined up. And you make furnace. Put all your ores in there. Let's see if I have any ores that I can smell right now, actually. I have some iron. Let's smelt that iron. Good stuff. As you can see, the iron doesn't require, not just the iron, the ores do not require, or the furnace, sorry, does not require, it is not required to be fueled. It does not need to be fueled to smelt ore. Spinning wheel. You make fabrics from plant fibers. You do the thingy with stuff. Thanks, brain. Crafting table. Is it not crafting table? Yeah, it is. Yarn spinner. I guess I just pressed C the first time. But yes, there you go. Yarn spinner, wooden planks, and it makes fabrics. Which is another thing you can do with your plant fibers, is make fabrics to make clothing. And then you can dye your clothing with, you can turn your, like petals and stuff that you get from picking up flowers into dyes. I haven't done that yet, so I'm not really gonna go into it. Let's see if I can't get a monster to drop some meat by using the bow. Meat? No, leather. As I might have said before, I can't remember what I have and haven't said before because I've had to record this multiple times. I forgot what I was actually talking about before that, but yeah. you need to kill them with the bow to get meat. Professional archery. Anyway. These up here are like a type of berry, I believe. Feather crown. They're just another thing you can plant. Oh, jeez! Oh, these are a very strong type of flying thing. Obviously, my sword right now makes quick work of them, but they are nothing to laugh at. Like, they will just destroy you. Along with another type of creature, which I don't think we've run across yet, but they're very strong. Basically, if you want to gauge how strong something is, but you don't just want to go balls deep, hit it, and if it doesn't take at least 2 squares of health away, run. Or 3 squares, sorry. Just run, because it will destroy you. Now let's see, what else is there? Oh right, armor. Anvil. You need lots of, quite a lot of iron. Let's go back to the crafting table. Don't need the metal workstation yet. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. An anvil, you need 8 pieces of iron, you make the iron anvil, and yeah, you make the iron anvil. And now you can make all kinds of, armor and weapons, depending on what you have. See this? It shows the level of the weapons here, so this is actually a level 5 weapon. But as you can see, it only requires 20 iron bars. Pixels are what you get for slaying enemies, and then there's sometimes little containers and stuff in the ground that you can smash open with literally anything, and it will give you pixels. I believe pixels are also a form of currency, but there's no real trading in the game yet, so aside from what you may do between players. Now, one thing I really love about this game is, say you finally get a full set of copper armor like what I have. Your copper armor won't be useless when you find a ton of silver or iron. As you can see, puddle chest plate, and each armor will look different for different races, as I probably mentioned in the beginning. But yeah, they all have the same stats, I believe, but they have different appearances. And you do not, only the races can craft their types of armor, but other races can wear them. So you, a human could wear high-level armor and stuff like that, as well as clothing. But they can only be crafted by the race which their clothing style belongs to, unless there's blueprints for them, which there might be. I'm not 100% sure about that, but at the beginning, purely racial crafting. But yes, you can see the puddle chestplate here. I need iron, but I also need my copper chestplate. Armor upgrades into other types of armor. Now you might end up with a type of armor that can't be upgraded further, and you should have gone with a different type. Like, there could be an upgrade to the puddle that's better than the silver, but the silver can't upgrade into it. And, like, the silver is the end of its own tree. That isn't necessarily true in this case, but that was just used as an example, where you would have 2 things to build into. One has an upgrade, which is better than the first tier. The second choice of the first tier. This would be really easier to explain if I could draw it out in a way. But, yes. I feel like I'm terrible at explaining things, but maybe everyone understood that the first time around. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm terrible at explaining things, because I'm terrible at explaining things. But yes, iron anvil, that's how you're gonna make all your armor and weapons. Now, with this silver armor, I didn't start out knowing how to make it. When I made the copper stuff, I learned how to make silver stuff. So when I crafted the helmet, I learned how to make a silver helmet. When I crafted the copper chestplate, I learned the silver chestplate, etc. But the puddle armor here, I started out with the knowledge on how to craft that. Although I believe copper armor is the same for all the races. I'm fairly certain. It was the same for the Hylotl and the Glitch, so I'm just assuming it's the same for everyone. You will find schematics in your travels, whether it be in chests or maybe even from boss drops. You will find schematics, and those teach you how to make different things. Like, I learned how to make a shroom door, which is a shroom made of wood plank. A shroom? A door made of pixels, wood planks, and mushrooms. And it's just a door with a shroom motif. Now, it says things like wooden doors, which obviously you're going to make with wooden planks. It says they're weak, but as far as I know, monsters don't try and break in yet, so I don't think it matters what your doors are made of yet. Now, this is a house I actually built myself, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my other character now. This is my glitch character, and by the way, that was very annoying. My game actually crashed. When this game crashes, it gives you like 50 error messages. It's very annoying. As you can, one thing I'm going to point out now, as you can see, my ship is a different style because I am a different race. And I'm also dual wielding a flashlight and a one-handed sword. You can also dual wield weapons, but if you're not a fan of two-handed swords, this is highly recommended because, or two-handed weapons, I guess. It's not just limited to swords. But if you're not a fan of two-handed weapons, then this is highly recommended because it, the flashlight, it may not be super powerful in terms of light, but it's better than placing torches everywhere when you're exploring. Let me just beam down to the planet. Alpha 40 per 7155 the 4th. I don't know. Yes, this is the planet that my glitch character started in. This is procedurally generated, so naturally you won't spawn in the same place twice. I guess maybe you could if you were very, very, very lucky. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, I'm not. My brain is not at 100% right now. I have an underground farm, and I'm gonna extend that over there. But yes, I built the house in my Hylotl, but this is a structure that I actually found. You can switch between hands. So right now my left click is a tag, and if I switched it over, then it's my right click. I guess it's just a matter of personal preference, or if you just feel like dancing. Okay. I apologize. But yes, this is actually a building that I found. It had some bandits in it, and they tried to myrtleize my face, but luckily, I started with a two-handed weapon, the same one, actually, the Broken Runewrath sword. And they had daggers, so I could just hit them and keep them at bay. They probably would have hurt me pretty bad if they had hit me, but they never did. And this little elevator-ish thing down was also there, and I'll show you what's down there in a bit. But yes, it didn't look exactly like this. there wasn't an anvil in that kind of furnace, and this crafting table, and that loom over there. I made all of that. This was here, and then that chest was down there, and I made the bed. But that wasn't... It was like right here. I moved stuff around. That's not really important, but... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very ADD right now. Yes, there's a dungeon. I kind of broke it a bit to try and make it look better. And then it turns out these are a different kind of stones, so that didn't work out at all. I just didn't bother. There's some kind of monster down here, and a chest, and that chest had this scythe in it. The spoiled rubbish. Uncommon crappy X. Nice. But it's a scythe, not an axe. And it's actually... It says uncommon crappy, but it actually did a lot of damage. Still does, because it does fire damage, too. Swing speed was stupidly slow. But yeah. As you can see, the monsters are of a different type as well. Some are still hostile. But, yeah. This swings much faster, and we can explore with that. You can explore deep, dark chasms with your flashlight, and not have to place torches. See if we can go find a deep, dark chasm to explore. And so you can see how I take a lot more damage since this character doesn't have any armor. I'll switch back over to my other character in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how effective it can be to have one-handed sword and then a flashlight in the other hand. A one-handed weapon and flashlight. I'm just partial to swords. So, purely personal preference. But as you can see, I can just travel around here. It's also useful for searching. Like, I didn't know there was copper right there. But with this flashlight, I can tell. I can see through walls with my flashlight. The jump height is actually pretty generous. As well as the mid-air, get out of my face. As well as the mid-air, like, control. And that's a lot of coal down there, which I will mine later, but I'm just here to show you some exploration. Maybe we'll find something amazing and awesome, or probably not. 'Cause that's how my luck is. Tell you what, while I explore, I'm going to mute my microphone, because you're probably tired of hearing me anyway. We get to listen to the excellent music. Oh, and by the way, to switch what's in your offhand, you hold shift. So if I would hold shift and press 1 to put this in my left hand, press 1 to put it in my left hand, hold shift and 3 to put the flashlight in my right hand. Okay, I'm gonna shut back up again. the game has an amazing soundtrack, as you can tell. An interesting thing, which I kind of forgot to mention, which I find makes this game a bit more enjoyable than something like Terraria, is even with the matter manipulator, you still destroy blocks at more than just one at a time. The matter manipulator can destroy a 2x2, and a stone pickaxe can destroy a 3x3. Maybe better pickaxes can destroy more? I'm not really sure. This, fuck. I'm not really used to one-handed weapons. I prefer the wider swing arc of a two-handed weapon. And, yeah. There's some iron here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. But yes, if you enjoy games like Terraria and Minecraft, I would highly suggest giving this a look-see. Fucking, what is wrong with me? I would highly suggest giving this a look. It is good fun and very interesting, and I like it. I like this a lot more than Terraria, and I'm certain that Terraria has a lot more in it. Like, there's no questioning that Terraria actually has a lot more content, but I like the art style more. That's one of this game's biggest appeals, if you ask me, is the art style. I absolutely love it. And I don't know. It feels like there may be more in ways of customization. There's a lot of convenient things that enhance the experience that games like Terraria and Minecraft don't have. They don't necessarily make it they don't necessarily, they're not necessarily features that, they're not necessarily defining features that make a game better than anything in its category, but it's purely for convenience, like how armor upgrades into other armor, so that the armor you had before is actually useful. It's just a nice little convenient thing, and it makes the game more enjoyable in that aspect, I suppose. But Falcold will now embark on a grand journey, and I will end the video here. I'm not good at outros, so bye! Sweet mother of God, what the fuck is that? Oh, Jesus! Get it away. Get it away. Get it away. Get it away. Holy shit. What the fuck was that thing?